What's up guys, welcome back to RetroSupply. You know, there's about 1 billion ways to draw with a pencil, which is great, until you actually sit down to draw something and realize you have no idea what the hell you're doing. So today, I'm going to show you 2 really simple pencil workflows that give you 2 completely different results, using our brand new brush pack, Studio Pencils, which is available for PROCREATE, Photoshop, and Affinity. The link's in the description. One uses harder pencils, crispy contours, and hatching for a more structured graphic look, and the other uses softer pencils, broad shading, and blending for something way looser and more charcoal-y. We'll be using Studio Pencils for both, but the techniques are pretty universal, so don't trip if you haven't grabbed the pack yet. Let's get into it. Before we start slapping down lines, here's a quick look at what we're working with. Studio Pencils has 60 brushes, and we broke them down into a few categories. You got 10 hard lead pencils and 10 soft lead pencils, which are basically the meat and potatoes of the pack. The hard leads are great for sketching, contours, line work, hatching, all your clean pencil stuff. The soft leads are broader, darker, and more textured, so they're better for shading, expressive marks, and that softer graphite look. But this thing doesn't just stop at the pencils. There's also 10 hatchers for laying down directional pencil strokes, 10 shaders for building up larger areas of tone, 10 texture fillers for dropping in graphite grain without scribbling yourself into an early grave. Then you got 5 blenders for softening things up, and 5 erasers for pulling highlights back out or fixing your many mistakes. Oh yeah, and the pack also comes with a 31-page user guide, a reference PDF, and an interactive digital workbook to help you actually learn what all this stuff does, so you're not wandering around your brush library like a lost child at Costco. There's a lot in here, but you don't need to use every brush in every drawing. Usually I'll grab a few pencils or tools that I like and bring in the specialty brushes when I actually need them. Remember, keep it simple, stupid. Alright, let's start with the hard pencils. But before we start drawing either style we covered today, let's actually spend a minute looking at our reference. I mean really looking at it, not going, yeah, that's an orange, and immediately attacking the canvas. You gotta look for the smaller shapes that make the subject unique. Pay attention to where the forms overlap, where the planes subtly change directions, and what the outer edges are doing. You don't need to memorize every single thing. Just figure out what makes this subject look like this subject before you start simplifying it up. Alright, for this workflow, we're going for something clean and graphic. Strong contours, clear planes, directional hatching, and good contrast. I'm starting out with the rough pencil and breaking everything down into simple shapes. At this point, I don't really care about the details. I just want the proportions, the placement, and the perspective to feel right. Keep this first pass light and loose, because there's no prize for making your rough sketch look beautiful. Sorry. One thing that helps a ton is drawing through the parts of an object you can't actually see. So if one form is sitting behind another, I'll loosely sketch the whole thing like the front object is transparent. It helps everything fit together and keeps the perspective from getting too wonky. Once things look vaguely correct, we'll move on. For the second pass, I'm making a new layer and switching over to the classic pencil. Now I'll clean up the outside contours, simplify the construction lines, and start picking out the bigger planes of each form. I'm not mapping every single microscopic surface change, just the important stuff. At the same time, I'm going to lightly outline the major shadow shapes. That way, before I even start sketching, I know where the dark stuff is supposed to go instead of just hatching and praying. I also like to keep the outside contours a little heavier than the interior lines. Nothing crazy, just enough to make the silhouette nice and clear. Now we can finally throw some hatching on this thing. I'm using the hard pencil and starting with a light pass of hatching across all the darker planes. The big thing here is direction. As the surface changes direction, let your hatching change with it. One plane might go vertical, another diagonal, and one might wrap around a curve. Those little directional changes do a surprising amount of work to make the form feel three-dimensional. And if you want to speed run this, use the hatcher brushes. I love using these in the early stages to get some solid even coverage. You can drop in a whole patch of nice pencil lines without manually having to draw every damn one. They naturally follow the orientation of your canvas, so if you want them to change direction, just rotate your screen. You can also change the spacing between the lines by adjusting the grain scale in the brush settings. Big brain move. For darker areas, I'll go back to the hard pencil and press a little harder or just pack the lines a little closer together. You don't need to go crazy here, just a few clear groups of hatching. For the last pass, we're just pushing everything we already have. I'll go over the darkest areas with more pressure, tighten up some of the hatching, and add a little cross hatching where I really want the value to drop. I try not to cross hatch everything, but that's just a personal preference. I also keep things really clean, but again, personal preference. I'm not the pencil police. Now I'll strengthen a couple contour lines where the forms overlap or need more separation. And honestly, this is usually the point where the drawing stops looking half finished and you're like, oh yeah, okay, there it is. If things still feel a little too clean or sparse, I'll sometimes add one of the texture fillers on a new layer set to multiply, and brush in a little extra graphite. From there, I'll adjust opacities of the texture filler layers and erase some of the highlights in. And that's it. That's pretty much the hard pencil workflow. 4 passes, clean structure, strong contrast, and you're done. Now let's loosen things up. Instead of building everything with crisp contours and organized hatching, the soft pencil workflow is much more about big shapes of light and dark. This is great if you like that soft charcoal or Conte kind of look. I'm starting again with the basic shapes, this time using the powder pencil and keeping things way looser. These lines don't need to be clean because most of them are going to disappear into the shading anyway. I'm just checking proportions and figuring out where everything goes. And hey, if you have a hard time sketching lightly, lower your brush opacity. It basically stops you from accidentally putting down some really dark lines 5 seconds in. Once the shapes feel good enough, I'm moving straight into the shadows. I'm going to grab the dusty pencil and loosely start blocking in the main shadow shapes. These marks can be broad and messy. We're not worried about perfect hatching or even coverage here. I just want to establish the big light and dark pattern. I'm still letting the strokes follow the general direction of the form, but everything can feel a lot more organic than the hard pencil version. And I'm definitely not blending yet. If you start blending before you actually built up any graphite, you're basically just smearing around nothing. Get some meat on the bones first. I'd also recommend keeping your pencil selection pretty limited. There are 20 pencils in the pack, but your drawing does not need all 20 brushes fighting each other in a Walmart parking lot. Pick 1 to 3 that work well together and stick with them. Once the basic shadows are in, I'll start building up the darker values. More strokes, a little more pressure, and more graphite wherever I need some extra depth. The main thing is not making every shadow equal. You want some lighter grays, some medium grays, and a few areas that are really dark. Save the darkest spots for places where forms overlap, turn away from the light, or just need a little extra separation. Otherwise, everything turns into one big gray blob. And nobody wants a gray blob. They smell weird and they taste awful. For really deep shadows, you can also make a new layer, set it to multiply, and build some extra graphite there. Easy peasy, pencil schmeezy. Yeah. Once I'm happy with the values, I'll bring in some of the shaders. These let me build broader areas of tone without scribbling back and forth over the same spot 100 times. I'm not trying to bury all the pencil texture I already put down, I just want to connect some values and give the larger shadow areas a little more weight. Then I'll lightly hit a few transitions with one of the blenders, and I mean lightly. If you blend everything into one perfectly smooth gradient, congratulations, you just used an airbrush. Leave a majority of the pencil texture in there, it's good for the soul. I'll finish things off by pushing a few of the darkest areas and pulling some of the highlights back out with an eraser. You don't need to overdo this, just a couple bright accents against those darker values looks really good. If you want to push the charcoal or Conte look even further, you can add a little bit of Gaussian blur at the end, like really small, tiny. And yeah, that's it. There's our second workflow. Same subject matter, same pack, completely different drawing. Now that we've gone through both workflows separately, I'm going to combine them into a more finished, detailed drawing. But before we roll the time lapse, I gotta do my part and give a quick shout out to the home base. RetroSupply.co is your go-to spot for authentic analog brushes, textures, and tools. So if you dig what you see in this video, check out Studio Pencils, or another one of our dope products, and then come right back and watch me put all this stuff to work. Alright, roll it. And there we go. 2 super simple workflows and 1 slightly more complicated drawing using a little bit of both. The main takeaway is you don't really need some massive galaxy brain process to make a sick pencil drawing. For the harder graphite look, think structure, contours, and directional hatching. For the softer look, think bigger shadow shapes, value, and slowly building up graphite. And obviously, mix the two however you want. Like I said, I'm not the pencil police. Those guys aren't real. They can't hurt you. If you want to try any of this stuff for yourself, Studio Pencils is available right now from RetroSupply.co. The link's down in the description. Thanks for kicking it with me today, guys, and as always, happy creating.